talk about the Grammys. It was last night. There was a lot of performances. I thought there were a lot of great performances. I want to know your guys' highlights, what your thoughts were of the night. Let's also talk about the biggest winners and the losers. I don't want to call them losers, the people that didn't win, losers. So let's go ahead and break it down. Thoughts, 5 words or less.
Grammys, also for grandmas.
What year is it?
Exactly.
I enjoyed the gramophones.
Pharrell's big hat, though.
Yeah.
What was
Pharrell's
that?
big hat.
Like Smokey the Bear hat, honestly. Before we get into the winners and the losers, before we get into our favorite performances and the highlights of the night, let's talk about more of like the things that kind of left us scratching our heads. So the big hat, for me, why the hell was Taylor Swift always up and dancing? And I know this sounds rude of me, I get it, because there was other people dancing, but for some reason, and I feel like an asshole saying this, it bothered me.
Here's why it bothered me, because there were so many other people in the audience that they could have cut to. Nothing wrong with Taylor Swift. It's just like they just kept, like all night, they kept calling her out for stuff and pointing to her, and I was like, why? Just like, there are so many other great people here that you could potentially look at.
I was frustrated that there were some performances where I didn't get to see Taylor Swift dancing. The best angle on Taylor Swift dancing, though, is the wide angle when you see how many people around her are not dancing.
Oh, that was during the Kendrick Lamar performance.
Which was
yes, unbelievable. So let's go into performances.
Okay.
So let's go through all of them. So what do you guys think about Beyonce and Jay-Z?
So sexy.
Boring.
I agree with you. I thought
so
her
boring.
ass looked great, their performance, but it was
Bad
awkward at
song.
times.
If you're gonna perform at the Grammys, perform that song of yours.
Right.
But she didn't, and she just was sitting there being all sexy.
She looked gorgeous as hell. So you loved it. Okay. I thought she looked hot. What did you think of it?
Just man, it's not even in my top 10.
I don't even
for the
see it as the top performances of the night. I don't call it a top performance of the night. Okay. So then Pink's performance, where she was on one of those, I don't know what they're called.
She was
rope
doing
things.
the
aerial performance.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Lorde's performance, loved. I didn't think I was gonna like it because I've heard people who have seen her live as of recent say that her performances are awkward. I thought they are awkward, but in such a cool way. I was captivated by her performance.
Yeah.
That's the kind of song that you need to do slightly differently.
I agree.
I thought she could have brought something else other than that into it, but I still really like her, and I've sung that song out loud millions of times.
She's so gothic looking. I love it. Her lipstick was just fierce.
And her nails were dip dyed.
It was really nice to see someone like surprised at their win when the camera was on her. Every time she won, she...
Speaking of going off what you said, when Taylor Swift thought she won.
When they were like, random access memory.
Everybody's talking about her loser face. Her thought I won loser face. And it makes me sad.
I thought her performance was good and
yeah,
heartfelt.
her
That song is
performance was
really
fantastic.
freaking long, though.
Her performance was great.
I almost threw up from the camera movement, but other than that,
How about
great.
this thing that she decided to do?
Yeah.
Headbanging.
Yeah.
She just learned, like, someone was like, you know, you can make your hair go back and forth.
I think we're all in agreement of Imagine Dragons and Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was really great.
That was the best performance of the night.
That wasn't the best performance of the night.
You think you guys are saying it's the best performance
I think
of the night?
Chicago and Robin Thicke was the best performance of the night.
I don't think so. No.
That
I
was
think Imagine Dragons and then, of course, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, Same Love, Hello, with Madonna, and seeing all the live marriages with same-sex couples, with heterosexual couples. I was bawling. I think that was the most moving performance, and I think the most exciting performance was the Kendrick Lamar and Imagine Dragons.
I love that when they shot the red.
Yeah, so good. And the steam and the smoke and the
so cool.
drum solos. I got like really into it.
Yeah. Okay. What performances fell short for you guys?
The Chicago one.
Yeah, I agree. I wasn't that into the Chicago performance.
It started off like, oh, and then it ended really strong.
For what it was, which is this came out a long frickin' time ago, and we're gonna play it at the Grammys. It reminded me, listening to, you know, when they got to Saturday in the Park.
Yeah.
It reminded me how complex and musician-y songs used to be. And how it's not that way anymore. There's less musicianship, and no one writes parts to their songs anymore.
Right.
And so to hear that and a whole just, you know, as opposed to someone's like, all right, I wrote this song and it's boring, let's get an orchestra to play strings, which is what happens now. They arrange the shit out of that.
Yes.
And that's impressive.
I was just really disappointed in all of the great musicians that were there maybe a few years after they were supposed to be, Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney were both very bland.
You're absolutely right, and I automatically want to defend them because they're legends, but I was disappointed by their performances.
There are times and places for your new song. If you're Paul McCartney, the song I heard during the commercial break for Pepsi that he did, that's the time and the place. Starbucks next to the register is the time and place for your new shit.
Right.
The Grammys is play the hits.
Right.
And that's all I want to hear.
So this is interesting because you and I had a different take to this. I thought that Casey Musgraves, who I had no idea who she was, I thought her performance was awesome. I didn't know who she was. I was shocked by her lyrics because to me, when I think of country music, I do think of something that's a little bit more conservative. And then to see a girl that clearly represents like an edgier version of country music, but then for her lyrics to be so liberal and promoting, you know, do what you want, dance to the beat of your own drum. If you want to kiss a girl, do you. I thought that was awesome. I actually thought her simple performance of just being on that little stage with her guitar and her cute little short skirt.
Wasn't it right after Imagine
awesome.
Dragons?
It was.
No,
I agree,
right.
but I thought it was
So weird.
No,
I thought ups and downs are goods though.
I mean, I thought she's amazing and super talented. I just felt bad for her that she had to follow that performance by Imagine Dragons and Kendrick Lamar, because that was so amazing. And then to go from that to like some girl just standing there playing a guitar, I got up and got more chips.
Yeah. Let's talk about the winners and losers real quick. Clearly the biggest winner was Daft Punk. I believe they won 5 Grammys. Pharrell Williams won 4, Best Producer of the Year.
Amazing.
Lorde, 2 Grammys. Kanye West didn't come out with any. Jay-Z, 2 Grammys.
Macklemore 3. But he texted Kendrick Lamar and said, you should have won.
Yeah.
It should have been you. It was politics.
He said, I robbed you.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool of him, even though I feel like
and
they both should have won. Okay, we're getting the wrap. I want to know everyone's one highlight of the night. Go.
Jared Leto's hair.
Jamie Foxx drunkenly hitting on Beyonce.
It was so bad.
Okay.
I thought it was a great night for lights, and the fog machine was just.
The fog machine
was really intense.
clearly took over. I'm not going to take the funny approach because I really did have an emotional moment last night when all the couples married, including the same-sex couples. So I want to say bravo for that pivotal moment and for Grammys to be doing that, because people from all over the world watch the Grammys, including people that may be not in support of gay rights. So I think that hopefully can show most people that the general consensus is in support of gay rights. So power to you, Grammys. And what did you guys think about the Grammys? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you all next time on Pop Sugar.